Thanks to you. It's
all right, everybody. We have Mr. Go
ahead. I'm sorry, Luke here. I've got a member who's trying to get in and they can't.
How come?
They don't know the magic word.
I don't know.
Okay.
Send them calling in?
Send them to the website.
Yeah, I'm sending them to the website. I'll try again. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
No worries. Let's see. We got Samuel Moore in the house. Good morning, Vegas. And Sergeant Ram, we have been talking to. Fanny, Tony, sorry if I don't get through this whole list of names, but welcome everybody. You guys are on fire.
I have a guest today. Her name is Deb, but her name didn't pop up in the participants.
Oh well, welcome, Deb. What part of the world are you in?
She's from Arizona, and she is a financial planner like John.
Oh, right. Great. Well, we'll fix that for her.
You should have a little chit-chat.
Yeah.
All right. I'm in Colorado, so welcome, neighbor.
There's a song for that, too, Mountain High, right?
There's lots of songs about Colorado.
Yeah. They're still coming in. All right. Well, let's give it another minute or so.
Yeah.
I'd like everybody to take notice of this notice that we have up here. We're going to start putting this information out for people. You really need to read this and pass it on, print it off, send it to people that you refer and things like that when they sign up. Let them know that they have to be careful about what they do here because this is an automated system. You know, there's nobody sitting there punching buttons. You can't call up somebody and say, hey, reverse that.
No, that's for, your blockchain wallets and stuff. You really want to be careful when you're transferring money because you are your own bank. You are responsible for your own transactions.
I also learned something about Coinbase today. In the reading that I was doing, I found out that Coinbase, sometimes when they delay these transactions, you know, you put the money in, they're going to deliver it 3 or 4 days later. Sometimes they'll cancel that transaction if the price changes is not in their favor.
Oh, really?
And they'll say, yeah, well, they canceled it for security reasons.
Well, that's a good thing I don't use Coinbase.
Yep. Well,
we'll get into that because a lot of people might not even know what a wallet is yet. How many of you know about Bitcoin? If you don't, John's here. He's going to show you.
Well, we're going to talk about Gladiacoin. We aren't going to talk so much about Bitcoin, but
but we can guide them in the right direction.
But we're 9 minutes after, so we need to get rolling here. Okay, I'm sure everybody's seen that screen. If you know, this is a picture. It's in the Facebook group. You just go back there, and you'll be able to download a copy of this. And make sure you put this in your presentations because it's very important that people know that if they make a mistake, they can't undo it. And so you got to watch your placement when you're placing somebody on a particular site, or you want them to go into a particular area. Make sure your placement is correct. One of the ways to do that is to have them sign up and not make the payment, and then they're pended. And you can go back in the pended spot and change the location where you want those people to go, whether it's right or left. It doesn't let you put them under individuals or stuff like that. But you can do that first and then have them make their payment, and they'll go exactly where you want them to go. If it's important, if it's sensitive. If you're just trying to balance your legs, just keep it on the lower one, and they'll balance itself all by itself.
Legs? What are you talking about?
Skinny legs. I like legs. I like chicken legs too. They taste good. Okay, everybody, we're talking about Gladiacoin. Somebody's underwater there. Gladiacoin is the name of the organization, and they trade. And what they do is they trade Bitcoin, only Bitcoin. They don't trade dollars, they don't trade pesos, just Bitcoin. So what you have to first do in order to get to the platform is you have to get yourself an e-wallet. We'll talk about e-wallets in a few minutes. And you need to get some Bitcoin, and then you can come join the platform with your Bitcoin, okay? That's the way they do it, and I like it that way. Okay, so we'll get started here. All right, in 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto started a revolution in the world. And that revolution had to do with developing a decentralized cryptocurrency, but more than that, it's the blockchain technology, which is overtaking the world. You know, back then as a planner, I saw this stuff and I just said, no, I don't want any part of it. I don't want to mess with it. I just, you know, you lose things on computers. You have everything on a computer and the computer goes down and boom, you know, you lost all your data. So I didn't even think that was a good idea. I didn't know that much about computers and I didn't know what was coming. And so I just kind of walked away from it, even though I had other friends that were telling me, you got to get on this stuff. You got to get some of that stuff, you know, buy some of this stuff. It was cheap. It came out at 0.001 cent. I mean, guys that bought stuff back then are amazingly wealthy today. Who knew? Anyway, in 2009, the first transaction occurred. Somebody spent 10,000 Bitcoins and bought somebody a couple of Papa John's pizzas in another part of the world. And that was the beginning of it. Little did I know what was coming. So here we are today. We've got another opportunity in to be able to get Bitcoin. Now, make no mistake about it, my firm belief is everybody's going to need Bitcoin. If you've been watching the financial pages at all, you notice that Bitcoin's prices have exceeded the price of gold, the standard store of value, which has been for 5,000 years. That's probably going to go bye-bye, and we'll talk about that in a little bit too. All right, but right now in 2010, Bitcoin was only 10 cents. That's not that long ago. You know, you look back at 2010 and you say, geez, wow, we've been this long with 2017 already? Amazing. 2016, it was averaging about $900. And then today, I don't know what it is today. Anybody look for today? Let's just do a quick little check here and see what it is. I should have looked. I know I did this morning. It's down a little bit from what it's been this last week. 1169. Okay, that's still up there. It's still hovering right around that $1,200 mark, and gold is hovering right around the $1,200 mark too. And that's a very important point. And there's a lot of nice things about Bitcoin that gold just can't do. So here are the companies that actually have been paying attention to Bitcoin. They were actually investing in it. I had no idea. Look at the names there. Everybody knows those names. Everybody uses those companies. So they know that something's coming and something's going on. And I think what they're really trying to do is trying to find a way to use the blockchain technology to enhance their business. But all I'm seeing is that when they use the blockchain technology, that means people lose jobs because they don't need the people. And that's part of the allure of the ability to use Bitcoin, isn't it? Because we can move money from point A to point B and we don't need an intermediary. We don't need a third party. We don't need a processor, a payer, somebody that's going to stand in the way and say you can't do that. We don't need to ask permission. There's a really good Andreas Antonopoulos video. It's about 17 minutes long. And he is talking to somebody over in, I think it's in Switzerland, a fintech meeting. And when you hear him talk about this thing, he talks about Bitcoin being a Swiss bank in your pocket. He says that people describe it as having a Swiss account in your pocket, and he corrects their notion and says you actually have a bank in your pocket. You can do everything that a bank can do. It doesn't matter where you are on the face of the earth. As long as you're connected to the network and you have a power to power your cell phone, you can originate mortgages, you can receive money, you can pay money anywhere in the world in a split second. And it's really interesting because when you think about people using silver and gold as a storehouse of value, and they want to have it in case of bad times, you have to think about that for a minute. Because, you know, if you're walking around with a bunch of coins or some silver and stuff like that, and you're trying to transact business and everybody else is out on the street and they're starving, they don't have any way to buy anything, you might not make it home with that stuff. But if you got Bitcoin, you're going to be able to run your own operation quietly. You can cross borders and nobody knows you have any money in your pocket. The Bitcoin is able to do everything that money can do, and even some things that things like gold and storehouses of value in the past can't do. And that's why I think it's going to be even more valuable. The other reason is that we don't really know how much gold there is. You know, somebody might find a new find of gold and all of a sudden it becomes so plentiful, it just doesn't have its value anymore. We do know that Bitcoin only has 21 million coins. That's all that will ever be in existence. And many of those will never see the light of day. They'll never be used. When the Mt. Gox exchange went down, a lot of the coins were lost. They've recovered most of those coins, 60% of them, I think. But there are some that have not, that they can't recover. And there are a lot of people that have lost coins just, you know, accidentally. They can't get into their accounts. They can't remember how to do it. You know, these e-wallet companies, they don't retain your information. If you lose it, you lose it. If you can't get in there to get your stuff, you can't get access to your coins. So a lot of that's going to happen. 16 million of the coins are supposedly in circulation. There are only 5 million coins left to mine, and it is on a decelerated scale, not an accelerating scale. They are decelerating it. They also are reducing the reward to the miner companies that are going to mine it, and that makes it more scarce because it suddenly becomes less profitable to actually produce new coins and put it into the system. That's intentional because they want the coins to be scarce, and that creates value. Scarcity creates value. If you transfer 1% of the asset base into these coins, just from the United States alone, don't even think about the rest of the world. You know, those coins are well over $1 million a piece. Now remember too that coins can be divided into 1 million parts. So that means there's going to be enough to go around for people to do business with and do things, but you're going to be dealing in very, very small quantities of Bitcoin. Now, in order to handle Bitcoin, you need an e-wallet. And those e-wallets are provided by companies like Blockchain and Coinbase. To get your Bitcoins, you can buy them through some of these e-wallet companies and also from an exchange like Local Bitcoins, where local buyers and sellers get together and exchange cash or whatever they have for Bitcoins. Zappo's another wallet, Copay's another one, and BitPay's another one. BitPay also offers a Visa card, so you can just put your coins right on that Visa card and spend them just like you would any ordinary cash or currency or fiat or whatever you want to do. One other thing is very important to note is that you see that safe sitting over there? You can actually get a hardware wallet. It's kind of like a thumb drive. It's called a Trezor, Trezor, and a Trezor, and there are some other varieties out there. Trezor actually allows you to transfer all of your coins to that little thumb drive, and it's very secure. Almost impossible, probably is impossible to break into it and get at your coins. You can actually transact business with you, so you can carry all your coins with you in that little Trezor, and wherever you are, connected to a computer, and just use your coins right off of that. So it's pretty easy to transact business, especially in the United States right now. Over 100,000 companies are taking a Bitcoin for goods and services. You can get a list of them online. I think it's 99bitcoins.com. Has a list of those coins. You just Google it, you'll find it sooner or later. But here's some of the main companies that are doing it: Starbucks, GameStop, Best Buy, Subway, Whole Foods, Home Depot. There's just all kinds. And you see the little cartoon there, the little drawing? You see the guy's got a cell phone, right? And he's transacting business right there for his coffee, transferring some Bitcoin over to the company just that fast. Faster than, easier than using or swiping a credit or a debit card. That's going to accelerate. That's not going to go away. So what are we doing about it? What we're doing here is getting a way to obtain Bitcoins at a reasonable price. Right now, it's like $1,200 for a Bitcoin, right? How many people right now can go out and spend $1,200 to buy just one Bitcoin? They can't. Zero Hedge had a great article the other day. I should have put it up. I didn't think of putting it up this morning. And they clearly said that most Americans, and even in other countries, cannot even afford to write a $500 check. 50% of Americans can't do that right now. Back in the 50s, everybody could. They had great jobs. We had manufacturing jobs here. All that has been dispersed around the world. So things are just not the same. So you got to do something different. People are really hurting. And as more and more of these robots come out and are taking jobs, and make no mistake about it, the robot thing is on, baby. You've got robot traders now, even in the financial planning business. You've got a robot trading system right here. This is what we're using here in order to generate Bitcoins for us. You've got Wendy's just bought another 1,000 robots to replace people behind the counter. There are robots now that will actually go around and take your order while you sit at a table. They'll come around and talk to you. So things are really changing. It's not the old world that we expected, and this is coming on very fast, and everybody is building around Bitcoin on the financial side. There are some other coins out there. There are going to be many different kinds of coins and different technologies regarding blockchain. I want to point out one thing right now. I want to make sure everybody understands, if anybody brings up one coin, that is not a true crypto coin. You need to understand that. It's not in the same class at all. It has nothing to do. It does not have any blockchain technology in it. It's a weird little thing, and you just want to be careful that you don't try to compare the two, because they're completely different. So what happens here is the traders use options, and they use different techniques like arbitrage, buying low and selling high. That's basically what a market is. And back when China was devaluating its currency, and you could actually buy a Bitcoin here for $700, and you could sell it for $1,000 in China. That's an arbitrage play. But you can make money when the price of Bitcoin is going up, and you can make money when the price of Bitcoin is going down. And so what happens here is Bitcoin has a lot of volatility. What does that mean? It means the price is constantly changing. And if you watch some of the live feeds, the number is always changing. Well, they have these robots, these computers set up with thousands of contracts on the buy side and the sell side at all times. And those computers are watching those changes in prices, and they're watching the different exchanges. See, that's what makes this all happen. It is the rise of the cryptocurrency exchanges that make trading possible. If they weren't there, and if they weren't run by the miners, you couldn't do this kind of thing. So this whole Gladiacoin system is owned by the people that put it together. They own their own software. They're experienced. They did Forex trading and other kinds of things. They provide software for other people as well. They're specialists in Bitcoin trading. They know the market. They've been doing this for some time. And they're not buying this from somebody else. So it's not something that's going to go down the tubes. And frankly, one of the fellows that I talked to who knows a lot about programming, who has looked at this system and the way it works and the way it's developed, he said this is elegance in programming. And it does. It's flawless. It just keeps working. It works 24 hours a day. And it's also worldwide. Now, most of the people, when we're talking about different kinds of investments, we're always talking about things that are locally. Now, I'm using the term investment. Just watch it. Investment is a legal term. It's got specific meanings in different regulations and security laws and things like that. You don't ever want to put yourself in a position where you're dealing with an unlicensed security kind of a program here. So this is not really an investment. You can't call it an investment, even though we use that term loosely. I just want you to be aware of that, okay? Don't ever make anybody think that you're really investing in something, all right? What you're doing is you're doing the same thing that people are doing all the time playing these computer games. They have artificial economies. They have other kinds of money that you can buy over there. They have, I guess you can even buy farm animals and all kinds of things, but it's all within this digital world. So what happens here is what you're doing is you're buying some Bitcoins, which are, frankly, an internet protocol. They don't exist in the physical world. It's really kind of cool where they've got a logo and you can see a pile of coins there. That pile of coins you're seeing there right now kind of make me hungry because they look like cookies. I keep looking for the white cream in between them. I just want to eat. But keep that in mind. Just make sure you're aware of those little things. Now, the benefits. The idea that you want to think about this thing is how it works is most people know what a bank certificate of deposit is. Issued by a bank. Insurance companies issued guaranteed interest annuities, and there are other instruments out there too. It says that they guarantee to double your Bitcoin in 90 days. Now, the key is not the 90 days. It's 90 days or less because there's an acceleration clause in there. If they can double your Bitcoin before 90 days, then the contract terminates. It's the doubling that's important here. That's what you need to know about. And we're going to talk to you about how to do that, how to make that happen. There are people that are actually doubling their Bitcoins every single day. So they're getting 8 Bitcoins a day per position that they have. It's fully automated. Everything just runs like clockwork. We haven't had a giddy up or a hitch or anything. It just works every day. Same thing. You get paid every day. This is another thing that I absolutely had to prove to myself. And that was that these daily payments were not being kept by the company and just put on a ledger. Those payments are sent directly to your individual e-wallets. You are always in control of that money. The only money that they're dealing with is the value contained in those Bitcoins that you've given them for that particular contract to double, okay? Make sure you understand that. Soon as it doubles, the contract terminates and you are offered the opportunity to renew. Do you want to renew? Yes or no? And I'll tell you why you will, and I'll tell you what the benefits of doing it and of not doing it. What happens if you don't do it? Okay? Now, you don't have a lot of tedious activities. You don't have to run around and do a lot of things. You can put the Bitcoin in. They pay you 2.2% of the Bitcoins back through that 90-day period, and the Bitcoins will double. However, you can build a binary network. The binary network, unlike a bank, you take somebody down to your friendly banker, he pats you on the back, he shakes your hand, and he says, you know, he tells your clients, you know, this is a great guy here. You know, we've worked with him a lot of times. He builds you up and he gives you some kudos in front of your clients, and then he sends you on your way. He doesn't give you anything, right? If you referred people, you referred business to the bank, but do you get anything out of it? No, not a bit. So here, when you refer somebody to the program, they will actually give you 15% of the amount of Bitcoin that the people put into the program. And it's based upon the type of contract that you want, the commission levels, the structure, the amount of money that you start with. That's how they double every single day. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to talk about those plans in a little bit of detail because I want to make sure you understand something here about the way how fast you can get the speed with doubling. Again, we're talking about it's real time, and all you need is a tablet, mobile phone, or a PC. Now think about that for a minute. This thing is designed to run on phones. There are 2.5 billion people in the world who have no banking relationship whatsoever. They don't have any access to commerce. And in fact, when they actually find out that they're going to be able to get Bitcoin and they're going to be able to transact business right from that phone, just like any bank, whoa, baby, what do you think the price of Bitcoin is going to go to at that point in time? 2.5 billion people. Probably even more, and I'll tell you why. Because that number only includes head of household. It doesn't include families and the kids that are coming up. And you know, a 16-year-old kid can have a Bitcoin account. A 12-year-old kid, a 5-year-old kid can have a Bitcoin account. It's not money. And many, many countries say it isn't money. Some of them are trying to say it's a commodity. I think they're going to have some hard times with this because, you know what? The governments didn't invent this. The governments don't own it. They can't really do a lot with that, and I think the people are just going to continue to operate. You know what happened with China here? The Chinese PBOC, the People's Bank of China, has been coming in. They're very concerned about capital movement out of the country, and so what they're trying to do is to control the exchanges and to keep it from happening. Well, you know what? Trading increased because they were doing it peer-to-peer. They didn't go through the exchanges. And it went ahead anyway. But you know who's really the big guys are really Japan. They're the ones that are doing more than the US and China combined right now in terms of trading. Now, another thing you need to know too is the Bank of China also came out with a white paper, and they had an idea to monopolize the Bitcoin. And what they were going to do is they wanted to have each village have one Bitcoin for each village, because the value in that Bitcoin would be so great that would be able to capitalize that entire village. They'd be able to loan against that. They'd be able to conduct business, build buildings and everything else using that one Bitcoin as the value. That's phenomenal. And that tells you the kind of thing that you're getting your hands on here. And that should tell you that you're going to need to get Bitcoin. How are you going to get it? You're going to wait till they're $50,000 a piece or $10,000 a piece? Or you want to work with a little system here that will actually help you get Bitcoin right now, because the real rush hasn't happened yet, you know. That's coming. So here's the thing. You double the Bitcoin in 90 days. If that happens in a day or it happens in 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, we're right now at this point, I guess we're about ready to cycle again on 8 Bitcoins. And so that's taken about a week, maybe a day or so longer, something like that. Here are the plans. There's 2 ways to generate Bitcoin. Here's the structure of how it works. We have a passive method. The passive method is the person doesn't want to do anything with a binary. They don't want to refer anybody. They don't want to talk to anybody. All they want to do is put some Bitcoin in there and get back double the Bitcoin in 90 days. So if you start out with 4 Bitcoin, which is the maximum you can put in any one position or contract, 4 Bitcoin, 90 days later, you got 8 Bitcoin. You want to do it again? You double it. You got 2 accounts at 4 Bitcoin. That then grows to 16 Bitcoin. Then you split again. And now you got 32 Bitcoin and 64 Bitcoin. Well, let me ask you something. If you're going to double it, why would you only double it 4 times a year when you could double it 365 times during the year? Do you think that would make a difference to your bottom line? You think that would make a difference in your life? This is the way to protect yourself. This is the way to get store of value that's not going to depreciate, because the demand is so great This was anticipated, and it was designed for this. This is what Bitcoin is for. A lot of these other coins, they're going to be dealing with other things. There's going to be all kinds of coins. There's going to be a local coin. I mean, there's a Scottish coin. There's United Humanitarian Trust coin. There is Irish coin. You know, even universities and organizations are going to come out with their own coin. They'll use those things internally within their organizations. But again, we don't need to go through third-party intermediaries. We can just do it, you know, right from computer to computer, phone to phone, instantaneously. Anyway, so what most people are interested in is not the passive method, but whether you build a binary network or not, you get the passive plus you can do the binary method. And you get paid a referral fee between 5 and 15%. So this is what this looks like. So here's you, and what we suggest is that if you come on the platform, you take 3 positions immediately. You take your main position. Where'd my pointer go? There it is. This one here, and you take this position here, and you take this position here. Now, these 2 are probably going to remain dormant, but in order to activate the commission structure from the binary, you've got to take these 2. These have to be personal referrals. These can be you can be a family member, it can be anybody that you refer there. But the strategy is that you will accelerate your Bitcoin accumulation if you take these 2 positions. Now, what you want to do here at this top position is you want to maximize that operation. You want to double every single day and get 8 Bitcoin a day. You want to do it as fast as you can. So everybody knows what a binary means. It means 2, right? You got a left leg and you got a right leg. And it goes to infinity. And it doesn't matter who comes on the latter part of the leg and all the spillover that comes in. Everybody gets credited with whatever's done in the system. Somebody comes on with 1 Bitcoin, everybody gets a 1 point up the chain. All right? And it counts the same. Now, what happens is that you come in here and you come in with 4 Bitcoin and you get that thing pumping out 8 Bitcoin a day. Now, once you've done that, in order to do that, you have built a team, right? All the way down the right side here. You've also built a team down the left side, and normally one side is probably going to be built by the spillover from above, so that's a gimme already. So you've got these 2 outside teams of people built that are generating that 8 Bitcoin. You need 50 Bitcoin points, 50 Bitcoin a day to cycle every single day. And people are doing that and more. It's amazing what's going on, what you can do here. Now, what have you done? Well, you've already built these positions. You've already got a whole bunch of Bitcoin that doesn't compress. In other words, all those points coming up will stay there until you actually pull them off. So now all you do is once this is pumping out, then you start working on this one, but you're going to put people on the inside leg because you've already built the outside leg. You're already using it. It's actually funding this position, but it can fund this one, it can fund this one, it can fund this one. That whole team is pumping points up through that binary. So you get this one, you build this one here, and it's pulling off 8 coin a day. Then what you do is you come over here, and this leg, outside leg, is already built for you. You don't have to do it. Let's say you got 1,000 points sitting there. That's 1,000 Bitcoin you can pull off. So every point that you bring in on the inside here, you're pulling off a Bitcoin. If you can, what you want to do is come in with 4 Bitcoin on each position. That'll double while you're not working on it on the passive method. And you can concentrate on getting this one working. So when we go through the plans, we're going to talk about the levels of how each plan works. But the point we want to make is that when people come on with their Bitcoin, everybody doubles their Bitcoin. People also continue when they start using the binary. And the reason is because, let's say, for example, that you decide that you want to not do it. Okay, I don't want to do it this week, whatever the reason is, you know, it could be anything. And you don't do it. You've just separated yourself. You pulled yourself out of the chain. You pulled yourself out of the line, okay? You've got to stay in order to be able to keep in the line. So you lose all the work you did in the binary. That's why everybody renews these positions. So some people say, well, what if I can't be there? What if I'm sick? Well, you need a trusted person that you know that knows how to do this. It's very simple. All you do is you want to renew, yeah, click, click, you know, you're done because everything's automated. All the cash and the Bitcoins that come out of there go directly into your blockchain account. Nobody touches it. You're in total control. So if you're not there to deal with it, it'll be there. If you've got one of the Visa cards attached to your account, you can control your account from any place you are in the world. It's really not that difficult. If you're going to take a vacation, you want to take a worldwide trip, just make sure you check your account every day. That's all. And if you can't, just have somebody else backed up that can do it for you. Most places people are going, they've got access to the internet, so it just isn't a problem at all. Okay, choose the plan. There are 7 plans. This is number 1, Sparkus number 1. Notice there's no doubling here. You do not get any 90-day doubling. What this plan is for, it's only 5% of a Bitcoin, is just if somebody just can't get the money to go to the higher plans, you can start here. And that's probably right around $100 today, 120 bucks or something like that. And you start building a binary, and you can receive 5% a fee on the binary. That money you then can use to get up to the next plan where the doubling starts. When you put in 10% of a Bitcoin, that begins the doubling. If you want to be passive, it's doubling. Every day you're going to get 2.2% credited to your account every single day. And you'll get a 6% referral fee on the binary. Now, of these plans, this Spartacus 3 is just the same as the others. It just you've got 20% in. The sweet spot is if you can come in with half a Bitcoin, because there you can earn 1 Bitcoin a day with the binary. You can get 30 Bitcoin a month. Think about that. 30 Bitcoin, roughly $1,200 a piece right now. The thing is that when you get these Bitcoins and you accumulate them, you can hang on to them. It's not like fiat, where you've got to put it in something because they're debasing the currency. What do I mean by that? I mean that they're inflating it. You know, the value keeps dropping the longer you hold the fiat currency. That doesn't happen here. These things are going up rapidly, and they're going to go very high. You talk to all the experts around the world. You talk to all the people associated with it. Study Andreas Antonopoulos. He's been with Bitcoin from day one. He's a system analyst. He knows this stuff. He's deep into everything that's going on with it. You start studying what he's saying about it, and you'll get as convinced as I am that this is where you need to be. And you need to have a way to get Bitcoin, and this is the only way I can see for the average person to want to come in and do this. Now, if you got a few bucks, fine. But, you know, pension plans are going away. I already know Teamsters that have been told that within 10 years, they're not going to have the money to make the payments. You have the government that says that you don't own your money. You put it in a bank or a financial institution like an insurance company or any of those things, a mutual fund company. You don't own it. They do. And there have already been court cases that have held very clearly that MF Global, when MF Global went down, which was a commodity exchange, and it dealt with, you know, beef and other things out west. When that went down, they kept all the money. People sued, and they said, no, they couldn't get it. Supreme Court said, you know, you're an unsecured creditor. When you gave the money to that institution, you invested in the institution, and you have to take the risk. Well, same for banks. That's not a good deal for people. And people just don't know that. They park their money there because they think they're putting it someplace that it's safe. It's not safe, especially in these volatile times. Look at Greece. The other thing that they've done is they've already passed these things in law about the bail-ins. You know what a bailout is, you know, where the banks were failing in 2008 and they had to have Congress come up with some money to bail out the banks. Well, the whole plan has changed. Now what they're going to do is they say, well, we got trillions of dollars in these accounts. They can bail out the banks. So now they call them bail-ins. They've already done it. They did it to Greece already a couple of times. They've done it to Ireland. They've done it to a couple other places. They just walk in and take the money out of your pensions accounts. The other thing that they're planning is to get control of all the money in the pensions account for your safety, by the way, to make sure you have a pension. Okay, you're going to have to put the money into these R bonds, and these bonds are going to protect you and make sure that you don't have any investment risk. Why? Because they transferred all the risk from the defined pension plans into the 401k system and the IRA account system. And you're responsible for managing that money. There have been some lawsuits. Some employers have been sued because funds and stuff that are in there, and they're very limited. They don't give you any opportunity. And besides, did you guys decide that you're going to be an investment counselor? You're going to have to double down and do 2 jobs. You're going to have to do the job you're doing there, plus you're going to have to learn how to manage all that money in your account. It's just not a good deal for anybody. And I tell people today, get your money out of the IRAs and 401ks. I don't care if you got to pay taxes on it, if you want to plan it. You don't know when it's going to happen. You've already seen countries go down. Look at Venezuela. They have no economy. What are they doing down there? The people themselves are using Bitcoin. They're buying food and things they need through Amazon. with Bitcoin. They actually get food delivered outside the border, go pick it up, and then they bring it back in the country so they have food. And this is happening all over the world in all these places. Anyway, let's move on. Here's the sweet spot plans right here. Spartacus 5, 6, and 7. Now, from my experience, I tiptoed in because we wanted to be very careful. We wanted to make sure we didn't overdo it. We wanted to see how it operated. We wanted to verify that every single payment that's made in that financial statement in the back office is absolutely in their personal account. And without exception, it works just like that. Now, when you come in with a very small amount of money, you generally come in because you want to be reserved. It's not that you can't come in at the higher levels. You do not have an extensive amount of risk here. And what I'm talking about is risk of loss of money. You actually have more of a potential loss of risk if you're doing the 90-day passive program, because if you're just letting the money sit for 90 days, is there a possibility the company could go out of business in 90 days? There's always that possibility, right? You got to be prepared for that. So you shouldn't put any more in than you can afford to risk. Now, if you're doubling every day, do you think that there's a possibility that you're going to lose all the money that you put in and the money that you've taken out? You know, the first time you cycle, like at 4 Bitcoin, you got your capital back already. You can put it back in the bank where I know you're going to lose it if you want to. A lot of people are not. They're putting them back in. But you could be working on the house money almost immediately. But if you're taking the slow plans where it's taking a long time to start building up some money in there so then you get to the higher plans, that's what you got to do. That's what you have to do. But I'm telling you, if I had to do it again, I would be coming in with 4 Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoin, or 1 Bitcoin, because that binary percentage makes a huge difference in the speed with which it doubles. That 15% cranks. Man, it's got its tennis shoes on, and it runs. And what happens is every time you cycle, you renew that contract, that puts more points in the system for people up the line. And the same thing with the people below you. Every time they cycle every single day, the same points, same 4 points come back into the line, and you get a 15% referral for your account. That adds up. That's how William Portillo has been able to pull out $100,000 of this thing by running multiple positions. So far, the largest positions I've seen is somebody's come in with 7 Spartacus 7 plans at 4 Bitcoin each. William's going to try to run 10. He's already running multiple plans just every single day. Now think about that. You get 8 Bitcoin a day, 240 Bitcoin a month. If that's just $1,000, that's $240,000 a month in Bitcoin value. And you only had to put in 4. What's the chance of losing that? Not much. Because all that money is in your account, not their account. The only thing you have in here is 4 Bitcoin, which you use that 4 Bitcoin over and over and over and over again. See? I mean, the other thing is that if you're going to start with a 10% of a Bitcoin and you start doubling that 10%, and you could come in with a 1, a 2, or a 4, double those compared to the doubling of the 10%. And what do you have over the time for the same period, the same points? You just don't get the commission level from the binary. You don't get the higher fee. You get a 6% at the Spartacus 2, which doubles the 10% of the Bitcoin. Starts at 6%. Even if you double the 6%, right, 15% is still better. So I urge you to come in and get as large a position as you can to get the highest position you can, and then refer some people. I have been in this business for 40 years. Everybody needs money. That's not the way it goes, does it? You haven't seen somebody for a while. So I haven't talked to that guy for a while. You know, I go tell him. No, I haven't done. You know, so you see him walking down the street and you say, "Hey, Joe, how you doing? I saw you over here. How's the family? Oh, that's good. Everybody's fine. Everything going good. How's the job? Oh, hey, we're doing great, man. No problems. See you later." He's lying. He's in trouble. He's in debt up to his ears. His kids need teeth work. He needs teeth work. They got medical problems. Can't pay their medical bills. The cars are past due. The more flash, the less cash. That rule has done me well all the time. When I see a guy come into the office and he's got all these toys and he's got this and he's got that, and they want a house at the beach and they want to have a house at the mountains, they want to have a retirement plan, they want their kids to go to the best colleges and the whole bit. My financial plan is really great. I can do it. I can do it. But you know what? and I call them back in and I say, you know that new car you wanted to buy? Baby, if you want to do this plan, it is a transportation special. And you know, going out to lunch for $30 lunches every day? It's brown bagging it for you. That's why financial planning technically doesn't work, because people have to do something. They have to give up a way of life and a way of living. They don't want to do it. They don't have the discipline. They don't want to give anything up. They don't want to keep track of what they're doing. So this plan enables them to get that money to double fast, right now. They have access to it when they need it, anywhere on the face of the earth. And what do they got to do it? Did they have to go to school for 15 years and become some kind of a mental giant and be a specialist in medicine or an engineer or something like that? No. Did they have to develop a business or some new product that they're out there selling, slaving away, trying trial and error, trying to get things going so that they can make a lot of money? No. You can do it all by putting in a few Bitcoin, telling a few people about it, and you can work it up to 240 Bitcoin per month. Now you got 3 positions. Remember the strategy? You got 3 positions that are pretty much built. Once you build the top one, the other 2 are simple, real easy, because it's mostly done for you. 3 Bitcoin is 720 Bitcoin per month. What if the price of Bitcoin doubles? And you know that new exchange traded fund stuff they're talking about, so the security guys can kind of get in on the deal. If that gets approved, you're going to have several $100 million coming into the market for Bitcoin. The lowest estimate that I've seen from the experts who do the risk analysis on those things and the probability analysis says Bitcoin's going to go to $3,500. You have other people saying, well, the economy is going to explode. They can't keep it going forever. Boy, if that happens, Bitcoin is going to jump anywhere between $5,000 and $40,000 a month, because the world will be rushing to put their money in Bitcoin. How do we know that? Because everybody who lost 85% of the value of their money in India had their money in Bitcoin, lost no money. Everybody in China, they're moving all their capital out in Bitcoin, lost no value. People in Venezuela are doing it. All over the world, people are getting into blockchain technology and Bitcoin. And here, all you've got to do is put a little money with a trading company. They give you all the money back in cash. They only keep the amount that you gave them to trade. They don't hold anything else. And if you want to do it again, you press the button and say, I want to do it again. So it's pretty easy to get going. All you have to do is choose the plan that's suitable for you, and you have to discuss that with whoever your advisors are or the people you're talking with, or you just make up your own mind. I mean, it's not that hard a decision. It's easier than managing your 401k, I'll tell you that. Start as soon as possible. Time's a wasting. The money will double every single day if you get on it and get busy and get out there and let a few people know, because everybody needs money. I don't care what they tell you. Everybody needs money. Very, very, very few people that don't need any money. And they need to protect themselves, and they're not prepared for any kind of a catastrophe in the economy or natural disaster. You got to think about that. Look at Katrina, look at Sandy. All those people that had funds available were able to go places. So what I try to tell people is you need to be ready to take an extended vacation at a moment's notice, and you can carry your entire bank, a Swiss bank, in your pocket. Get up, walk away from whatever the problem area is, earthquakes, fires, whatever's going on. Go someplace else and enjoy yourself until the problem's over. And you can do that right here. Get it all put together. So let's see if anybody has any questions or comments. People, if you're already on the plan and you're on this webinar, please tell people what your experience is so the new people know that what I'm telling them is real, because they have no way of knowing it unless you tell them.
All right, and it is easy. Even my 93-year-old mother can do this program. You don't have to be a Bitcoin guru. We got a special guest who appeared, and it is the Bitcoin road warrior himself.
Who?
Mr. William Portillo. Can you come in and say a few words? He snuck in here. William.
He must be making a deal. He's not listening.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Hey.
Good. Are you back? Are you back in the area? Oop, lost him.
Oh yeah, he had a mute. Wanted to catch him before. He's so busy these days. We haven't seen him for a while. He's been out there being a road warrior.
We see the pictures.
What you've been doing, William. Ah, he keeps muting.
Okay, well, you know what? Is Samuel here today?
Yes.
Oh, well, Sam got to go to one of those meetings over in Las Vegas. Hey, Sam, tell everybody about that meeting, will you?
Oh, he was here. I think he must have had to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, just...
Well, hopefully we can get William in here to say there.
Hey guys.
Yeah,
hey,
there you
all
are.
right.
Yeah, so pretty excited about this program. I had a couple of people in North California join. They came in with 7 positions and 4 bitcoins. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I know. It's amazing.
Crazy. I mean,
But that's
people.
the strategy.
Yeah. It is because they're coming in with 35,000 approximately, but they're doubling their money in 90 days. And if the Bitcoin price goes up, they're actually more than doubling. They're making more money, like you were saying, John. And it is very beautiful what's happening in this program here. We are attracting the masses, and things are happening. And all the top leaders in the world are coming into the Gladiacoin. You have no idea the interest that has sparked. And also a lot of the webinars that you guys are doing, like this one here, is definitely sparking up a lot of interest to a lot of top earners in the industry. So I want to thank you, John and Kathy, because you guys are the greatest. You are the #1 team in the whole company, and I feel very honored and very proud to be part to team up with you guys. So thank you so much for what you guys do.
Thank you, William. Thanks for going out and doing the meetings. I'm going to catch up with you there because I like to be a road warrior too,
Awesome. Yeah. So tonight we're gonna be in Irvine. I'll post that meeting. Anybody that's local or at least 6 hours away, come by. We're gonna be in Irvine tonight, and then tomorrow we're gonna be in Los Angeles doing a meeting as well. And then on the weekend we're coming back up to North California. I'll be posting out the addresses if anybody can join us.
Okay.
So we're definitely taking over, bro, and we're gonna start traveling all over as well, worldwide. So pretty soon we're gonna be in China, pretty soon in Australia, South Africa. We're gonna be all over the place, man, making this happen.
Hey, listen,
So,
William, when people come to the meetings there, though, you assure them to send them back to the people that referred them to the meeting, right?
Oh, 100%, yeah, 100%. That's what I mean. It's only ethical that they need to do that, I mean,
Sure.
yeah, 100%.
Well, we're leading the country, so
That is
let's keep it up.
exciting. So what was that? You've already made 140 Bitcoin, huh?
Yeah,
And
140 bitcoins in 1 month and 8 days.
Wow.
I just got paid today $15,000 worth of Bitcoin. I should be doubling that by Friday. By Friday, we should have double that.
Wow.
All right.
I'm going to catch up.
I am right behind you, man. I am right behind you. Heck yeah. You guys are just on fire. I mean, everybody in this program is a winner. I mean, they either put their money in and let it sit and let it double in 90 days, or you can do it a whole lot faster, like a lot of people are doing. Can you tell us that story? I love this story about the doctor lady that you signed up, William. How she was not going to share this with nobody, didn't know anybody.
Oh, yeah. My friend, Dr. Claudia Garcia, she's a psychiatrist. She had her money in the bank, and I said, "Are you crazy? Why would you have your money in the bank that is charging you every month and don't pay you, but it's so 1% or less a year?" I go, "I have a program that what you need to do is convert your dollars into Bitcoin, and you're able to generate daily 2.2% and double in 90 days." She said, "Is this for real?" And I just opened up my blockchain account and showed her my daily payout, and she was immediately convinced. She jumped in with 4 Bitcoins, and then she swore to me. She goes, "I am not recommending this to anyone. I don't have time. I am, finishing my licensing. I don't have time." And I said, "No problem. You don't have. That's the best thing about this program. You don't have to recruit not even your mother if you don't want." But she decided to join. 3 days after, she's calling me that she has 3 friends that each want to come in with 4 Bitcoin. Then 2-3 days after that, she's calling me again to see a friend of her at a Denny's, and she also joined. Then 2-3 days after, she's having me go to her friend's house to come in with another 4 Bitcoins. I mean, now she's one, a very strong builder from having no information about what Bitcoin was, having no experience in network marketing, and inferring to me that she was not going to recruit, and that's exactly what she's doing right now. So I'm very grateful for this program, because we are converting normal human beings to people that are becoming financially free. So go Gladiacoin. We are the gladiators. We are the ones that are making things happen. So if you haven't decided, everyone that is in this webinar, you better make a decision and make it fast. I got to tell you, I came in December 28th with 0.10 of Bitcoin. $85 at that time have now converted to almost $200,000 in 1 month and 8 days. If you want proof, have the guy show you that I post every time I make money, I post it. Not to boast, but to give you hope that there's a better way, and that is called Gladiacoin. Thank you so much.
Thanks, William.
That is just, this program is just mind-blowing, mind-blowing. Everybody's a winner here. It's just, we're so excited and so happy for everybody.
And there's a lot of people that say, well, you can't do that. This is not real. They're just doing a Ponzi scheme. Well, there's more money coming out than there is going in. That's one. The other one is
it's
that
paid directly to you every single day, just like clockwork.
You
just like clockwork.
Are in an environment which makes this possible. This will not continue. At some point, the volatility on Bitcoin pricing is going to slow way down. It's going to get very smooth. You know, when all the Bitcoins are out and everybody's selling, you're not going to have these wide variations of money. This is something that exists right now. And there are articles that I can show you that talk about this is a once-in-a-generation opportunity. This is on CNBC, people. This is your Main Street media now beginning to take notice of what's going on here. You are in a very special time and a very special place. Do not ignore this. If you don't want to do this, if you're not convinced, then you get on YouTube and you listen to everything Andreas Antonopoulos is telling you. Do your research. Look at his book, The Internet of Money. Talk to some financial people that know what's going on in the world. You have got to make some choices, and you've got to do something, because if you don't, you've made a decision not to do anything. And, you know, when the financial problems come, you're going to suffer the consequences. And this is a very important point. You can ignore reality all you want, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. That's where it hits you in the pants.
Okay, I guess we lost William. Sergeant Ram had a question for him. William, are you still with us? I know he is a man on the go. He's got lightning coming off of his tennis shoes there. But Jim Ram will try to get an answer for you. Get with William a little bit later. Jim, can you come on for a minute, Jim, and tell us a little bit about what you see in this program?
I see lots and lots of money in this program. I started on February 17th with 1 Bitcoin. Last Thursday, I upgraded to Spartacus 6, and this morning I upgraded to Spartacus 7.
Congratulations.
And I have made $35 in less than 3 weeks. So that tells me this thing is cooking. And I'm already, just like I said, I upgraded this morning, and I'm already at 38% of my goal for doubling for Spartacus 7.
Wow.
So this is going to be amazing. In a couple of days, I'll be doubling. I'll have 4 Bitcoins. I just can't believe it. It's amazing.
That it is. And congratulations.
Thank you.
It's just amazing. We have a lady that is asking to explain again that this is not an investment. You are using words that belong to investment. You double your money, 2% a day. Help me be more comfortable. I think this is great but scary. Can you answer that, John?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. What's her experience, or what is she Why is she coming up with those questions?
She said, I have suffered from a similar program getting paid 2% per day. There's a lot of programs out there, and they also hold your money.
Yeah.
Help her be a little more comfortable with this.
Okay, well, you obviously are doing something with money, but it's like buying a car. Is that an investment? Some people say it is. You buy a car, you register it, you drive it off the lot, you just lost 50% of the value of your money, didn't you? So what you're doing here is you're buying something and you're trading with it. In the terms of investments, when you're talking about security laws and things like that, those have specific meanings. Like if you talk about being an investment advisor or something like that. We're not doing any of that stuff here. We're simply taking advantage of an opportunity that exists right now by giving some money to a third party. That's true. But you're in control of this thing. It's up to you, and all the money you hold, everything that comes out of the plan, it goes directly to you. So if it's an investment, it's kind of a loose term about it. Most investments entail substantial risk, and I don't judge that there's substantial risk here at all, because of the fact that all the money that's generated, or all the Bitcoin is what it is in your own personal account. And once you have gone through one cycle, you've gotten all of your capital out, and you're done. You got all your money back. Now you're just playing with the money that you got, and it's artificial. It's not within the definition of money. Now it seems to fit, and it can be called a currency, but there are organizations and countries that have issued rulings that state very clearly that this is an unregulated program. There are no rules, that nobody has any control over it, and it's not money. Canada says at best it might be considered a commodity. Now the United States always takes a hard line, and if they can extract any money out of you for whatever you do, even hold a yard sale, they're going to try to do it. And they do that generally through licensing and permits that they require you to have. So some people are going to say it's an investment, some people are not. I don't consider this to be the traditional kind of an investment. Some people invest in China. So I don't mean the country, I mean, pieces of China. Some people invest in Avon. I mean, are those investment? It's on that level of an investment kind of thing right there, okay? It's easy to document that everybody is getting paid and everybody is making money because they can resell their Bitcoin. Right now, if you have Bitcoin in your hands and you offer it for sale, there are people out there that will grab that from you as fast as they can get their hands on it. So it's like having some special baseball cards, If you collect baseball cards and you want to sell them and people want them and they sell them, they buy them, they'll grab them as fast as they can. That's in the nature of what this thing really is. But
because of the scarcity, right? What's the difference between Bitcoin and all the other 600 coins out there?
Well, the one is that it's designed to be a currency. It's designed to be a storehouse of value, and it has a limited number of coins available. Other coins out there are designed to expand as they go over time because they're doing different things. They're not providing the specific function that Bitcoin was designed to provide. They are, see, it's built into the system here. You can't change it. It's intentional. When you design something to do a specific function, form follows function, right? You heard that when architects talk about it. So if you have a bridge over there and you build a bridge, and you can't say that's a skyscraper because you couldn't even turn it into a skyscraper. It's the same thing here. All these other different coins out there are all trying to capitalize and find some way to do different things. There are people investing in all of that stuff. They're buying everything in hopes that some of these take off. There's about 1,000 coins out there right now. There's going to be many, many, many more. But they're all tied to different types of blockchain technologies. There's also a number of technologies that are designed to provide anonymity and invisibility. People want that. They don't like this idea of governments controlling everything. Anyway, I hope that answers the question for you.
Okay, we have another one. So no 1099 is sent out at the end of the year from Gladiacoin.
No, there's no 1099. There's no reporting. They're not dealing in fiat currencies at all. They're dealing in Bitcoin.
Okay, we have somebody that's had their hand up. L. Jedman, go ahead. Can you?
Man, he must be a strong guy to keep that hand up so long.
I know. Thanks for your patience. Can you hear us? Go ahead and speak. L. Jedman, did you have a question? Okay. Anybody else have a question or a comment? Okay, Mr. Jim Ram, do you want to tell him about your radio show a little bit? Jim, am I losing everybody?
Gosh, all these people and no questions. Amazing.
Okay.
All right, well, we're done. But we'll be on Jim
All
Ram's
right.
show tomorrow morning. It's on Truth Frequency Radio. It'll be, I think, 7 a.m. California time. Is that right? Pacific?
Yeah.
And we'll be talking about this. Sarge has a special a health show. And part of that, he talks about financial matters and being able to pay for those healthy things that you need. And people could use this program to provide the money to do that by getting Bitcoin and reselling it. You know, there are a lot of people out there that have a lot of Bitcoin and they're not selling it. They're just hanging on to it.
Yeah,
So,
Barbara T. has a question. Let me unmute her. Barbara, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah,
Go ahead, Nat.
I have a question. A friend of mine, she wants to come in, but she don't know a lot about Bitcoin. And she heard that if our currency, the fiat currency, goes gold back, would that deflate the Bitcoin? Will that cause it to go way down or, interfere?
it will accelerate the increased value of Bitcoin.
Okay.
Because that's what people are using to protect themselves. That's my point. When India's currency fell by 85%, Bitcoin was the only thing that maintained their wealth. You know, your wealth really is your labor. It's the essence of your life. You get up and you move around and you do things. You build things, you perform services for people, and in exchange for that, you get something to be able to pay for your life. When they take this stuff away from you, it's hard. But see, people can't take the Bitcoin. It's not theirs. Governments don't own it. That's why they're worried about it. Because people are deciding that they're tired of the mismanagement of their money and their country's funds. They don't want a so-called elite group of people making decisions for them all the time. They want to make decisions for themselves. They don't want to have to give you a retina scan, an iris scan, a DNA component, a thumbprint and a palm print, and a photograph. You know, people are sick of it. And this is one way to get out of that system right here, because there are people right now that live their entire life. They don't use any fiat currencies anymore at all. They simply use Bitcoin and other altcoins. That's where it's going. And you've got 7 billion people chasing 21 million coins. What do you think is going to happen to the price?
Okay.
The fact that Bitcoin has exceeded gold already and is hanging right up there with the gold price. Gold's dropping, whereas Bitcoin's hanging right up there and climbing. It's going to go way past gold. So this is what the investment community and advisors and others are beginning to see, that they're beginning to call this the new gold. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Else.
We had one more.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Was that L. Jedman speaking, or somebody was trying to ask something there?
Yeah, this is Steve Antel. Is your name Jim? Is that what it is?
No, hey, you works.
This is
I get that
John.
a lot too.
John
yeah,
and
my name's
Kathy.
Steve. Say it again.
John and Kathy.
John and Kathy.
Uh-huh.
You guys do terrific. I've been in the industry for about 30-some years. I'm 77, and as a result of this industry, I retired at 45. So I've been free.
Wow, great.
Yeah, I've been free for better than 30 years. My wife and I have had 30 great years together. So because of this industry, and one of the things that I learned early on is where you're going to be in a couple of months financially really depends on who you're listening to, and who you're listening to basically. So
Yeah,
with you guys
absolutely.
doing this, we need to promote this. You guys did a terrific job. I loved it. It was very good. Very good. Excellent.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, baby.
I have a
Thank
question.
you.
I have
Okay,
a question.
go ahead. Who is this?
Yes. This is Randy in Texas.
Hey, Randy.
Oh, nice to have you here.
You're welcome. I've got a question. I've tried to buy some Bitcoins through Wall of Chains, and I just want to tell the people that it's been a nightmare. Just to forewarn you. So the question I have for you and John, are you using the local Bitcoins to purchase for the people who want to get in immediately?
No, well, we're using Bitcoin machines. We're using local Bitcoins. There's also Paxful is another one. There's quite a lot of places that you can actually get access to the Bitcoin. You can get it from Coinbase. You can get it through Uphold.
Well, yeah, I understand that. I've already sent quite a bit of money to Coinbase, but it takes like 9 days to get your Bitcoin.
It does, yes. I know.
I know you
So
have to establish a kind of like they increase your limit as as you purchase.
I don't have a problem on the limit. It's just a problem to get. So the question is: it best for the people that want to fund immediately to go to the local Bitcoins? Is that a suggestion? I mean, I'm not holding you guys to it, but.
Well, I don't know. You just kind of have to shop it around and see what's in your area and who has the coins. There are some people here that have coins available for sale, and you can research that by word of mouth.
Right.
There's no one way to get them. That is a problem because a lot of these exchanges are, they have to have a business license in order to operate where they operate. And
I understand. Thanks, John.
What you really want to do is look for an unregulated exchange. You don't.
Right. Well, these are, but I just, it's just frustrating when you send people money and then they, 3 days later they're saying, well, our processor or seller provider, whatever they call it. So anyway, just a question.
Okay, I know you're in Texas, and if you Google BTM machines, there's a ton of them in Texas. You just have to Google it, look up BTM machines. They're like ATM machines, and I didn't even know they existed until a couple months ago, and they're everywhere. So you're in a prime location. You can just go down to one of those machines, and they transfer it to your wallet instantly from those machines.
The other thing is that if you connect with us on Skype, we can try to connect you with some people that may be able to help you personally.
Okay, what's your Skype address?
It's my first initial, last name, KACARAB.
Okay, thank you, John.
Okay, anybody else? Because otherwise, it's time for us to get out of here.
I've just put that Skype information into the chat box there, so you can have it. And also be sure and join our Facebook group. That is Gladiacoin Elite Global Leaders.
I wanted to. I pulled some things up to show some people. I wanted to show you that things are really changing all over the world. Here is a Swiss apartment provider that now accepts rent in Bitcoin. Some towns and stuff over there too are also accepting Bitcoins for payments in goods and services, as well as many universities now are beginning to take Bitcoins in payment. Another thing that's very important, you're going to hear from a lot of people that Bitcoin is a terrorist funding. This is a lie that is pushed out there by the governments, and Wall Street Journal has finally come out and stated clearly that Bitcoin as terrorist money is an exaggeration, and they discuss why they're doing it. There is your government at work. People need to know that they're going to call you a terrorist, they're going to call you a bad guy, and they're going to try to do everything they can to dissuade you from working with Bitcoin or any crypto.
Propaganda. But everybody that's got a Bitcoin debit card, they're living off of those. Some have given up fiat currency altogether, and that's what's scaring the government, I think.
Okay, now the other thing I want to urge you to do is to subscribe to Crypto Coins News. coins plural, cryptocoinsnews.com. You'll get these little short articles that they put out. They'll give you a good overview of what's going on. There's a lot of information out there. Don't bury yourself with it. Just get started on one and just kind of watch the headlines. You'll see things that will interest you. But you really need to know what's going on.
Hey, John,
Absolutely.
again?
Crypto Coins News.
Crypto Coins News. Hey, John, this is Dave in Austin, Texas.
Hi, Dave.
Could you give us a little bit more information on the trading platform? I'm more of an investor than I am a network marketer. Know where it's located? Is it insured or licensed?
No.
Know who owns the computers and the software?
None of that information is available, and it's there on purpose. The computers, the platform's in Singapore. We're told that the people that run this operation are in the United States. We know of one person who says they actually know these people. They do not want to be out there in the public view. They want
They're
to
all
be anonymous.
businessmen, investors, very well seasoned.
But they're not interested in attracting, three-letter agencies and all this other stuff to what they're doing. They want to stay as hidden as they can. I'll tell you this: the platform works, and this is what I tell everybody: if this is not within your purview of putting money in, you shouldn't even mess with it. It's just not for you.
Could I go to Singapore and actually meet the traders and see the operation?
Nope. They're not going to open it to you.
Interesting. Okay, by the way, I'm a professional speaker, and you're really good. That was a very, very good presentation, John.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I don't know why. I mean, it's just me talking.
You're a natural.
Yeah, he definitely is. All right, everybody.
Thank you.
Well, we do these presentations Monday through Friday, noon Pacific Standard Time and 6 p.m.
Let me explain
Pacific
something.
Standard Time.
I want to say something again about when I evaluated the risk of loss here. I didn't really evaluate any other risk, platform risk, lack of the system goes down. Just can I lose any money in this deal? And I realized very quickly that I can lose some money here. But boy, I can't lose much, because if I put 4 coins in and I double them in a day, I've got my money back already. Everything that I get out from there on is just gain. Now, that's not going to happen overnight. It can happen very quickly. But if you're dealing with people that are coming in and you're referring people that are coming in taking multiple positions with 4 coins, you're going to get to 50 Bitcoins very quick and doubling every single day. The person who comes in with a very small amount and struggles to get up is putting everything back into the system. He doesn't have very much money, and that little bit of money, yeah, he could lose that. That's possible over time, because the longer you're in the system, there's just a systemic risk that something outside of even the system could happen that would cause them to go down, and they could lose whatever money they had in there. But if they get back their initial capital base right away, then everything they use to build from that point on, it's not going to affect what they had. It doesn't take anything out of their pocket at that point. So only thing I really wanted to verify for sure was that there was money, the Bitcoin was actually paid every single day. So what we got to do was go through several financial statements in the software that you have, and we did line item review. We looked at this number and we checked that number in their wallets. We went to the next one. One for one, we couldn't find a single error. And now our own experience now, we've come in, I think we started February 9th, and we're already doing multiple cycles on level 7, and we came in with a 0.05. So from my point of view, in terms of risk of loss, this is really low compared to commercial investments. I mean, you look at the mutual funds these people are promised for their retirement plan. Those beautiful, beautiful pages and the nice glossy stuff, and somehow the account balances never match those mountain charts. I've gone into leasing programs, multiple times of stuff like Tri-Fund. We got oil and gas in there, leasing airplanes, all that kind of stuff. I've got public limited partnerships. I've done widows and orphans real estate investments where everything is in cash, and they lost it all. And you know what? I knew the attorneys. I read the legal opinions. I knew who all the players were. I knew where every building was. I knew everything about the program. My broker-dealer did due diligence on the whole thing. And you know what? I have lost more money for people putting them in these damn public registered investments, which really aren't investments. They're money machines for these people. For example, let's talk about mutual funds, for example. Let's say Merrill Lynch has got an in-house mutual fund, or some of the other companies that do. They don't have trading desks. They buy the stock for their funds from their own trading desk, and they mark that stuff up, and they don't have to tell you what they're paying themselves for the stock. And then they come out with this stupid story. Oh, that's great. We got all these people. The demographics are great. You know, everybody likes, like Gillette's a famous one. Everybody shaves, you know, these new razors, man, you're just going to make a mint. And then all these guys on the stories on the TV, immediately they know everybody's going to go out there and they're going to buy that stock because they heard it on CNBC, MSNBC, and all that kind of stuff. And it's going to run the price up right away. And these guys have already shorted the stock. You know, I'm fed up with it. This is clean, neat, and easy. You know what you're putting in. You know what you're getting back and when you're going to get it. And it's just like clockwork. And if you take your capital out, now you're working on house money. It's like going to Vegas, man. Only you can keep pulling money out. Pretty soon you got 2 times your capital, 3 times your capital, 4 times your capital. So I don't think there's any risk of loss. And that's why I didn't really concern myself too much with what they're doing, because it's just working.
I hear you, John. I see that point very clearly. Can you pull money out every day?
Every day. You get paid every day.
Now, if you're strictly an investor and you're getting, did I see 2.2% a day?
Yes.
The rule of 72, unless my math is off, aren't we doubling our money every 30 to 40 days?
Well, you can't really apply that here because, well, let me tell you what they're doing. They're giving you back your principal right off the bat. You realize that? It's 2.2% per day of the amount that you put in the account.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they will pay you that until it's doubled. So the first 45 days is a return of your principal, isn't it?
Right.
Okay, the second half is where the gain comes in.
Excellent. I now understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what happens is that if you accelerate that by referring people to the platform and using the referral fee to come in, it takes nothing away from the person that you referred in, and they're operating on the same platform you are, but they credit your account with that additional money, and that's why William is able to do what he's doing. He is cycling multiple positions every single day, 8 Bitcoin a day. Simply because there's just that much demand for something real that people can actually get their hands on. So this is one of those things where if you wait, you're just not going to get the gains out of it, as opposed to somebody who gets in there and starts doing it right away and helps people find out about it and do it as hard as you can. You know, traders, they're making more money than we are. And I hope they make 3 times as what we're making, because I want them to keep doing it.
Right, I hear you.
So what we're getting is fantastic compared to everything else out there. Plus, my money is in my wallet. It's in my card. I'm not tied anymore to my physical assets anymore. I am ready to go anytime I need to go to get the hell out of here if I need to get out of Dodge. And who knows why that would occur? I don't know. But I can't do that with anything else. I can't do that with gold and silver. I can't do that with buildings. My income's based on rents. That's a nightmare in and of itself. And all of a sudden, a storm comes in. You know, it's just kind of like Katrina, Hurricane Katrina. We had people down there, and their gold was 17 feet underwater in downtown New Orleans. Couldn't get it. So they had to go into the shelters. There are people that had access to credit money and card money or traveler's checks. A lot of people did that for a while. Were able to go out and buy up what existing housing was there, and most of the people didn't have any of that stuff. Look at Hurricane Sandy, same thing. Whole towns washed away up there. Look at the earthquakes out here. Look at the fire. We are going to have a fire season out here in California like you can't believe. You cannot believe the growth already because of all the water, and now the sun is coming out. Oh my gosh. It's amazing. Just sit back, get your binoculars, and watch the fire. It's going to happen. Anyway,
Okay.
I hope that answers your questions.
Thank you. It does.
Again, we will be back here at 6 p.m. tonight. Bring some people back, and we'll be happy to answer questions and help you get going if you choose to. And same, that's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and have a great afternoon. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
And God bless you all. Take care.